Hello everyone, and welcome to the inaugural episode of Owen Reads Reddit. And today we're looking through r/entitled parents. Make sure to like and subscribe for more of the series. Entitled neighbor lets her 4 kids wander into elderly neighbor's yard. One coughing. Week later, turns out kids diagnosed with COVID-19. So last week, my mom was chatting with our elderly neighbors who live in the unit next door. Socially distanced, of course. Our elderly neighbor, Jane, and her husband, Jim, have been living there long before my family moved next door. And we are always polite and kind to each other. They even have a little pond with a fountain that they once had fish in, until the neighborhood raccoons said otherwise. Long story there. As my mom and Jane were talking, I was on the couch browsing this lovely site and taking a break from university when we all hear Jim scream, "What are you doing in my yard?" I rush out to join in, seeing what the fuss is, and lo and behold, the kids who live opposite of where I live in a different set of units are running around the pond and making a mess, ages from about 7 to 12. Oh, and one, about 9, was coughing. Jim screaming at the kids to stop destroying his pond. He had built it with his own 2 hands and is a retired contractor who's helped to keep the units in our section up to date, which he can bill against his rent. And yes, the kids were effing climbing on it, the bushes, and trampling the flowers Jane put around it, and before COVID my family helped them care for. I knew my sister would be upset because she got some of those flowers for a Christmas gift. Of course the kids ignore him, and I run over to help him and get involved while my mom and Jane storm over to the neighbors to get their damn kids under control. From what I learned from my mom while I was helping Jim drag the kids off, literally, I got the 3 who weren't coughing. Jim was already pushing the obviously sick kid away by a long piece of lumber. Was that the lady who took offense to that and started screaming at my mom and Jane that my kids can do whatever they want, before their husband started yelling at her, and eventually they all got dragged inside. Jim complained about it, Jane cried over her plant, and my mom and I got our masks and offered to help them fix it, which we did, and even improved it. A week later we thought that it was, but no. We find out about a week later, through the neighborhood grapevine, that the 9-year-old kid had COVID and had to be rushed to the hospital. Now my family and Jim and Jane are getting tested and self-isolating, which sucks because I have an approved in-class trip soon and don't want to miss out, as it counts towards my degree. Also, my family is more at risk, and I'm scared my sister and mom will be seriously affected and possibly end up on a ventilator or worse. And I really don't want anything happening to Jim and Jane either, because they're so nice. Jane actually brought me chocolate ice cream with raspberries a couple years ago when I had my wisdom teeth out, which was really sweet since I was stuck on a mostly liquid soft food diet. Oh, and that family is getting in deep trouble with other neighbors. Their house actually got TP'd and vandalized. I can still see the word morons and Trump lovers in red spray paint on the white exterior. Oh, now they're painting it over. Oh well. I'll update as I get more, though I don't think any of us have COVID or we're asymptomatic. But we're all doing fine so far, at least I hope. Wow, that was actually crazy. I can't believe that. How would someone get away with 1, breaking into someone else's yard, 2, one of their kids actually has COVID? That just crosses the line. Alright, anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the first ever episode. I'll try and do these like once or twice a week, especially if you enjoy this. Anyways, that's all I got for you today. Have a good rest of your day /night. See you guys later.